Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to look at the Bardstown Series number 12, 57.4% ABV. 57.6% ABV, Dustin. What are we drinking here, buddy?
All right, so the Discovery Series started off as sort of Bardstown blending a bunch of whiskeys. Initially, they were all Kentucky, then they just got wild with it. They've recently gone back to all Kentucky, but now in Discovery, they are starting to use their own bourbon. So the first one to do that was the 11, which we brought you guys, I think in April of this year, so it's been a little while. That one was very bubblegummy, fruity. And I had a bunch of people saying this one was better. So I said, all right, to give you a quick little breakdown here, guys. The showstopper, the reason everybody bought this.
Give it to me, Dustin.
48% Kentucky, 14-year, 75 corn, 13 rye, 12 barley.
You know what that is.
And you know what you guys know it, right? Wild turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if this is, as they're calling it, buffalo turkey or actual turkey.
Okay.
So buffalo turkey is essentially Buffalo Trace for a short time. Was actually contract distilling for wild turkey. I don't know what happened or the reason. This could possibly be that. I don't know. Anyway, from there we've got some 10-year Kentucky, 78, 10, and 12. And we have some 10-year-old Kentucky again, 78, 13, and 9. And then the final piece is the Bardstown Bourbon Company, 8%, 6-year-old, which is 60 corn, 26 rye, 10% wheat, and 4% malted barley. So very different. Last time we had this, it was a heavy wheated bourbon. So this one's more of a rye.
Buddy, you're getting the turkey right away. Sweet turkey, as I'm calling it here at First Nosing.
Yes.
Sweet turkey.
And I think that is from the other whiskeys kind of giving it a little bit of sweetness.
I agree.
The turkey is definitely coming through beauty.
It's turkey and over-the-top turkey sweetness.
Should have had this yesterday.
Yep, thanks. We're one day removed from Thanksgiving upon filming. Wherever you guys are at in your day, I tell you what, I hope you had a good one.
I'm kind of surprised I'm not getting a little more oak on this one, Mike. I mean, it's surprisingly sweet and...
sweet and turkey.
Very like candy corn on the finish. I hate to say that.
Yeah.
But it's surprisingly very much that on the nose. No, that's it. I mean, it's got some nice oak here. It's just, you're not getting like old whiskey. And 14-year bourbon, we had the Russell's 15 not too long ago. That was a dark, rich, oaky whiskey. This, not so much. This is much more... this is much more of like a refined but not old whiskey kind of note.
Getting a little bit of leather. After you get past the sweet turkey. Sweet turkey and an old estate. Leather chairs, old wood table.
I get a little bit of the old wood table. I'm not getting leather yet.
A little bit, it's there.
It's going to come out, I'm sure. I am getting that very much like you're in like a barn that's been like drying corn, maybe got some wheat stacked.
Old world Thanksgiving.
This does have a very old world, like if you were like baking with just like without any sweet stuff, you're just baking with like wheat and corn, like you're really making some kind of dry breads. Interesting.
Yeah, smells like time's gone past right here.
Really, really, really enticing and interesting. Wow. I can't think of a good bourbon comp, though. Like, I mean, it's kind of like... It's classic heavy corn bourbons, but it's...
Heavy corn bourbon. A turkey fan's going to recognize this big time.
Yeah, on the arrival, yeah.
Yeah. A heavy corn sweet, over-the-top sweet heavy corn turkey.
Yeah, I mean, I get a little bit of like a rare breed, I guess, is kind of the closest one I would come to, is a bit of a rare breed.
There's a bit of sting to it, too. It's high ABV.
That's why I'm going with a rare breed, yeah.
There's a bit of a 101 kick to it as well.
Yeah, but this has got a little more depth and refinement than that.
Ooh, wild turkey.
Also, recent Wild 101s have gotten very artificial vanilla for me, almost aspartame.
I haven't had one in a long time.
This is not...
High school, if I'm not mistaken. 90s.
Those were good ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to dive in here.
There you go, Dustin. Get to it, buddy. Now we're starting to get a little bit of hay, a grain note to it as well.
Ooh. Ooh, spicy, rich, a little punchier than I was expecting.
You all right?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to dissect it here. So initially, my first kind of initial thought was kind of like, all right, this kind of tastes like a blended bourbon in that it's a little disjointed, a lot of stuff's going on here. But I gotta say, a lot of good stuff's going on here. This is, dare I say, this is a bourbon drinker's bourbon. Not a bourbon like Snob's bourbon. Mm-hmm. This is a guy who he likes to have, he's happy with having a Blanton's on his shelf. He's got a Four Roses single barrel, just like the regular shelfer on his shelf. And he wants something nicer, better. Maybe he's got a Russell's Reserve or something, but he wants a step up, but he doesn't want super oaky. He's not, a guy who wants that. He's like Jimmy Russell. He thinks bourbon's best around 7 to 10 years old. This is, despite having older whiskey, I think actually giving a lot of that classic, just good quality, well-made bourbon notes that those guys love. I am, but I'm really struggling with the whole, the rye, the wheat, the malt. Believe it or not, that little touch of Bardstown really does a lot on these whiskeys. It's crazy how much it does.
It's more mint than I assumed there would be on that.
That's what I'm getting at. I'm surprised, because
it's a sweet turkey and a mint. It's sweet at first, and you get a lot of turkey, but as soon as you swallow, big mint swell.
And the only whiskey in here that's heavy mint is that 8% of that 6-year Bardstown. I'm telling you, but we had the same experience on the 11.
That went a long way.
Where just a little bit of that heavy weeded Bardstown gave it this bubblegum note
that mint was so much of the finish, Dustin. It transitioned hard. It took a hard left turn. It went super sweet turkey on the palate and just left turn smoky mint. Mentos mint.
Mike is very sensitive to mint on rye, by the way, guys. Just heads up.
Yes, but that don't mean what I'm saying ain't true.
I'll just put it this way. I did notice rye spice. I didn't think mint once. Now that he's saying it, fair enough. I get it. But if
there was a Mentos in here, I wouldn't get any mint here.
From
my perspective.
Again,
from a Scotch drinker's perspective.
Like I said, Mike is very sensitive to rye. That's why I wanted to point that out.
He ain't wrong. I like Pete. And I'm sensitive to rye. Sensitive is a funny word. I like it. I'm very attuned to that note.
Let's put it this way. What is that, like the fairy tale where, the prince, if they put a pea under her 100 mattresses,
yeah,
you feel
that's right. Princess and Pea.
Yeah. Mike will taste the rye if you put any amount of rye.
I will taste mint in whiskey, regardless of any amount of rye you put in that thing. I'm like, 0.4%.
Anytime you go past a 9% rye mash bill,
I'll taste it.
He'll pick it up. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're not the one that said that. It's so much mint. But I like mint. It's not that
I'm a big mint fan myself.
Yeah, but I got the Spearmint twins with Mentos in their mouth, both going at me right now. That's how much mint I got going on.
Mike's having a great night.
Ain't bad.
Okay, I love what water did here. I didn't put much, but man, I'm getting a little bit of peanut butteriness. I am actually now getting a hint of mint in a really good way.
I was about to say the mint's coming up even more with water.
I just mentioned I got a little mint now, but I'm getting a little peanut butteriness.
I give that peanut butter note too, though. There's a sticky, buttery peanut.
There's an oiliness that's picked up. Ooh, this just got more decadent. I went from being a little. So I'll just tell you guys.
This peanut butter pie.
We didn't review this initially because I was not blown away by the initial arrival of this one, and a bunch of my bourbon friends were much bigger fans of it. So I was like, all right, I'll wait, find out. It's been a few months since I last cracked this one. Ooh, I like what water did, man. Okay.
Bardstown, you're getting average at the very least, but sometimes you're getting special.
Oh, man. Forget everything I just said about fighting and not going together. This bourbon just all became a beautiful whiskey with that drop of water, and I was really light, I thought. It got rich, oily, all that went together well. But I'm still kind of I'm looking for 14-year-old whiskey here, and I'm not getting it. I'm getting some of the vanilla notes maybe you get on older bourbons, but I'm just getting so I always have said this. There's youthful bourbon, that's a bad thing. There's young bourbon, nothing wrong with that. And then there's old bourbon. I leave out middle age. I'm just I don't know if middle age exists. This is young bourbon with a little bit of old notes coming through, but none of that antique leather.
What's that chocolate covered mint candy? York peppermint patty.
Okay.
I'm getting York peppermint patty dipped in chunky peanut butter. Yeah, Dustin, extremely good whiskey. All right, so this is your whiskey. I will give my whiskey score. Very fun whiskey. I like all the elements here. Super sweet turkey meets peanut butter meets York peppermint patty dipped in peanut butter. I'm at an 87 out of 100. Thoughts?
So I'm 86, 87. I'm going to give it the... I'm going to give it the 87, Mike. I actually was thinking I was going to go higher after water. But I tell you what, man, the initial drinking without water, it really didn't work for me. So these are about $150, and I guess my recommendation for anybody looking at this is if you like classic bourbon, you're willing to pay a premium, and you want something that's got a little bit more richness, a little more depth, add that drop of water. You don't need much, just a drop, and you're going to get yourself a great bourbon. But you're not getting yourself that old, really like...
None about this comes off like old.
You're not getting that 14-year like bourbon experience that I was kind of hoping for. And I think that's unfortunately clouding my judgment on this whiskey because... And that's why, like, for a second there, I was thinking I'd go like 84, and that's just ridiculous. It's got a nice oiliness, nice richness, great bourbon. A little pricey for what it is, I think. But if you are somebody who just really is into that classic, you're not into 20-year-old bourbons like we are, you're not into even like 15-year bourbon, but you're a big bourbon guy, I think you're going to love this bottle. I think that's for you. It's not my cup of tea at the $150 price point. That's what I gotta say.
Those are our thoughts on this particular whiskey. Dustin, until next time, what do you wish the folks?
Happy discovery drinking.
See you next time.